Welcome to the House and Fata No, this isn't House and Fata Morgana. This is a kind of a fun game that NOVECT put out just recently. Came out just the other day. Called Seventh Lair. It doesn't really have anything to do with the game. It's just kind of a fun parody thing they put out, which is very surprising. And they reused a lot of the characters and stuff for artwork and whatnot. But I'm excited to play it. This game was provided to me by MangaGamer, so thank you for that. I will go back to House and Fata Morgana. I know I kind of just completely stopped that for really no reason at all. I'm not really sure why. But I plan on coming back to YouTube. I've taken a long break. I want to come back to YouTube. You know, I want to start, start again. Ryaume Heaven? Heaven? What the hell is that? It opened a website to something. I'm not going to check it right now, but there you go. Start. Attention, this game contains depictions of blood and graphic violence and other potentially disturbing content. You thought you were going to get something amazing, didn't you? Ave Maria is a good song. Enter name. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh. Space saves the game? Well, that's weird. Huh? My name? What does it mean I put my name? Don't I have a name? Oh, man. What should I be? If I could be anything. Please input your name. I was asking nicely now. It's like, okay. Please input your name. Is this some kind of dream? What's going on here? What on earth? Why can't I speak? Nothing comes out when I try. All around me. Damn, it's pitch black. I can't see anything. Oh my god. Okay, now it's getting short with us. My name? What's going on here? Who's there anyway? What's happening here? Answer me. Please enter your name. In 5 more seconds, it will be input automatically. What? My name automatically? What does that mean? I want to be Ralph. I mean, how am I supposed to input anything? Wait, at least answer me. I have no idea what's... Oh, hey. So my name... I need to say my name, but I can't speak. No, you can write it. It's Michelle. My name is Michelle. Michelle Bollinger. That's my full name. Please work. Whew. Welcome, Michelle, to Seventh Lair. Seventh Lair. Wait. This was such a cool idea. When I heard the premise of this, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is awesome. I love this. Yeah. And in that moment, the darkness was gone. What enveloped me next was a clear blue sky. After the jolt at my spine, I realized that I wasn't standing on anything at all. My own screams thundered in my ears. I was falling. There was nothing to hold on to. Need an explanation of what's going on? No, you don't get one. Okay, that's exactly what I want too. Some random words forcing me to give my name out of nowhere, and then I was thrown up into the sky, and now I was plummeting. That was all I knew. It's over. Thinking wasn't gonna help. I'm dead. That's cute. Got an achievement unlocked. The game has begun. Get up. Hey, get up. Come on and get up already. Oh, so bright. Hang on. Can I change the settings? No. That's gonna be annoying. What the? Oh, it's Nelly. Ah, good, you moved. You were completely still, so I was pretty sure you were dead. Oh. Oh, there we go. That's how you do it. Man, this is like, it's so loud still. I don't know why it's always so loud. There we go. Okay, that's alright. Text. Okay. Okay, close. You were completely still, so I was pretty sure you were dead. What? Who is this, and where am I? A graveyard. My eyes still hadn't adjusted to the light, but as it settled into focus, there was a young girl with softly colored hair looking down at me. I probably had a totally dumbfounded look on my face. That would have explained the suspiciously yet concerned look she was giving me. Hey, are you okay? Get it together already. There's like so much that I want to ask you. Huh? You want to ask me? Hey, so what happened? You know something about this place, don't you? So who the heck are you? What the heck's going on here? What? No, hang on. Don't freak out on me. Answer me. What's the deal here? Why is something crazy like this happening? Why? I mean, I'd like to know myself. I don't even know what's happening to begin with. Wait, so you don't know anything either? At least I can't answer any of your questions. I don't know anything. With my mind still foggy and this little girl grilling me, I tried to look around. Where was this? Why a graveyard? And not to mention, after falling out of the sky, why was I uninjured? And what was that before? This isn't a dream, at least I think. What gives? I feel dumb for getting my hopes up now. After that crazy way you appeared, I was sure you definitely knew something. Crazy way I appeared? Yeah, all of a sudden the sky was all flashy. The sky was flashy? That's why we were so surprised. We ran over here to see you and you were dead on the ground. Who's we? Wait a second. I have no idea what you're saying. I don't even know who you are. Nelly, I think you should calm down. It's Mel. He's clearly just as confused. It'll only make it worse if you bombard him all at once. I was so distracted by the little girl that I didn't even notice, but there was someone else here. It was a boy with a gentle-looking demeanor. His hair was a similar color to the girl's. Who are you? I'm Mel, Nelly's little brother. Nelly's her name, by the way. Mel? Something wrong? This is cool because they never actually meet in the actual game because they're all separate storylines, so to speak. This is kind of cool. Anyway, I'm flustered, but I'm sorry, but we're flustered too. We didn't have any ill intent pressing you like this. Huh. He's composed, smart. I still have no idea what's going on, but it seems like I can get somewhere discussing this with him. But big brother, do you really think this guy doesn't know anything? I mean, did you see the way he appeared in the sky? Indeed, that did make him seem important. But it also isn't guaranteed that important people have any information. No, wait, wait a second here. What, do you mean by the way I appeared? I already told you, all flashy like. And I told you, I don't know what you mean. To put it one way, it's like you were a gift from the heavens, you were wrapped in a bright light, and some mysterious power sent you downward. Your boy, this 8-bit music is really grating my ears. I'm sorry. What? No, come on, isn't that a crazy way to put it? I think so too, but I can't help it if that's how it looked. You make it sound too cool given the nature of her situation. Rather embarrassing, I might add. Yeah, because, Michelle always was, like, very kept to himself, you know. He was, like, locked away in the mansion for many years. So it's kind of, he's not used to interacting with people that often. But, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Huh? Usually, if someone's going to fall from the sky, it's a girl, right? So, why do we get some stick-in-the-mud, long-haired chump? Damn, Mel! You didn't used to be this sassy. Let me take that back. You're not the reliable character at all. You're the punchable one. Hey, what's with you? All I did was say what I was thinking. Yeah, well, think before you speak. Be a little more choosy with your words. Oh, stop it, you two. We have to hurry up and make sense of this situation. Yeah, we do. Yes, you're right. To think that the youngest of all of us was espousing the most wisdom. So you have no idea what's going on after all. You're the same as us. When we came to, we were in a forest. At first I thought because I'm so super cute that we got kidnapped. I really did. Right, because you're so super cute, Nelly. What's with these two? It's weird. But you just seem too unreal. I think that's the way to put it. Appearing out of nowhere and all. So I had no idea what to think after that. I mean, I'd never seen anything like that. And also the clothes we have on. Aren't they weird? Did you always wear clothes like that? Huh? Now that he pointed out, I finally noticed it. Their clothes weren't modern at all. Right, they were plain old looking like we'd just jumped back a few hundred years in history. And what's more is that it wasn't just them. I was also dressed this way. This robot's hard to move around in. Hey, is this... Just as Nelly opened her mouth to speak to me amid my bewildered silence. Huh? Vaguely, but still enough so that all of us were aware, some change occurred. It was in the air, or rather the feeling in the air. The world that surrounded us suddenly changed. Above us, there's something. So these guys are coming from modern time? Ugh! Letters? Giant letters are floating in the air. What is that? What is that? The hero and his party then departed on a quest to save the world. What? What the heck am I supposed to... Am I supposed to say that? No, come on. Come on. That doesn't explain anything. That's skipping so much. A game? A game? Ah! Did you figure something out? I just remembered what happened before I came here. I was trying to download a game. What kind of game? It was a game that released on April Fool's this year. But from where? From a place called Ryume Heaven, run by someone named Dark Knight. Ryume Heaven? Ryume Heaven. An indie game site? An indie game site. That's, how do I put this? So you downloaded the game from there too, right? No, out with it. We're here in this crazy unknown situation together. Don't go hiding anything from us. That's my website. Yeah. Are you the Dark Knight? You're Mr. Dark Knight? Yes. You're the villain! Wait, no, it's a misunderstanding, a false accusation. How could it be a misunderstanding? I got the game from that site, and then this happened. What kind of trap did you set us, you villain? What are you planning on doing to us? This guy's not only a pain, but he was the madman developer as well. It's a misunderstanding. You got it all wrong. And hey, who are you calling a pain? Look in a mirror. You're a pain in the neck any way you cut it. What the heck is room heaven even supposed to mean? That translates to kingdom heaven. It's supposed to be kingdom of heaven. That's why you're a pain. Big brother, our point of discussion isn't how much of a pain Dark Knight is. He made some crazy game, and thanks to him, we got sucked into this game world, right? What? Sucked into the game world? Yeah, look what you got us into. No, come on, wait a second here. You can't, I mean, can he sucked into a game world? There's no way that could happen. It's totally impossible. But isn't that the only explanation for this right now? I mean, you hear the BGM faintly playing too? And that title? That text up there? And how you appeared in the sky? This is a flippin' RPG. What? Is that what this is? No, wait. Can't we assume this is some kind of magic trick? That sounds way more realistic, right? How could Game World be the first thing that pops up? It's... No way, it's not realistically possible. I understand that, but the reality is happening here, so it's only obvious that we suspect the person who made it. Or, wait, did you make some kind of virtual reality game and... How could a single indie game maker produce a VR game on this scale? They really believe that this is a game world. Perhaps this is just their youthful imagination running wild, or maybe they know something that I don't. Still can't make any kind of judgment call, but... Whatever world this might be, I'm not the bad guy here. Either way, I need to remedy this misunderstanding. For starters, I have no recollection of ever making a game called Seventh Lair. But you released a new game on April Fool's, I remember now. The name is the same. The file name was Seventh Lair. No, I really have no idea. Look, the game I wanted to release on April Fool's was... What was it? Huh? Now what? On April Fool's, what was the game I was going to release? Don't ask us. I don't know. My memory's declining by the second. Oh, the old age is kicking in. But what's wrong with me? I can't remember. I planned to put something out. That much I remember. But I have no idea what that was. It's as though there's a perfect little hole in my memory. But at the very least, it shouldn't have been an RPG, and Seventh Lair isn't a name I remember giving it. I just can't believe this game maker's here. He's doing nothing but playing dumb. Well, wait, I really don't know. I mean, right. Yeah, even if... Just hypothetically, I did make this game here. Then why would I involve myself in it like this? If I was the creator, then wouldn't I give myself a higher position of power? I'm a victim here. I wonder. So what? That makes you the hero, right? You obviously give yourself that role because you wanted to be the one in this game with the most power. What? Why do you assume that I'm? We have role cards. Role cards. I'm sure you're supposed to have one too. Big Brother and I had one from the beginning. Mine had mage written on it. I said priest on mine. That's funny. I don't have anything like that. Forced to move by their glares, I felt around in my breast pocket. Despite hoping that I wouldn't find anything, a slim paper-thin profile of a card graced against my fingers. And on that card... Ah, we are a hero. Well, it really says it. Red-handed. Indeed. No, really, believe me. And now that the physical evidence in your hand, how are you going to weasel out of it? You want to play adventurer, needed to drag us in to do it. That's it, right? Speechless, as expected. You're wrong. You two don't even know what it's like to be a creator. Your perspective is completely out of an end user. You don't know the struggle I deal with to create from nothing. Of course, some creators would like to be a character in their game, and I'm not saying that's wrong or anything. Lots of games do that. But Dark Knight of Realm of Heaven isn't like that. You two don't understand my games. They're putting the blame on them. The goal to actually talk about understanding, right? I do not wish to be a player in my game. I am the creator, the one and only God of Realm of Heaven. I don't want to be Adam and Eve. This guy. Adam and Eve. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I'm the beginning and the end with my creations. I enjoy watching these just fails. They complain endlessly about it. I play tabletop RPG. I'm not a player. I'm the game master. I want to see the players rack their brains over my constant and impossible quests. Who would willingly throw themselves into a map littered with traps of their own design? You have definitely been told you're a terrible game master. You need to emphasize with the players a little bit. Empathize. That's why Dark Knight's games always get grilled for having terrible controls. Yeah, spacebar to save? What the hell is that? And that's why your Realm's Heaven's users keep dwindling. You shut up. Now you're just taking out on us? Taking out on us indeed. And there's another reason why I wouldn't be the hero. And that is, I absolutely never fight on the front lines. Huh? Rather than taking charge and diving into enemy lines, I like to mull around in the back debuffing. I'm way more enamored with curses and afflictions than flashy attacks or healing spells. Poison, petrify, paralysis, sleep, curse, evade, down, all the stat debuffs. That's what's fun to me. A type of person like that could never be the hero. Why say something like that so brazenly? It's the worst class to have when the game isn't balanced. Also, the one everyone targets first. And, well, there's more. The naming of these classes are too simple. If it were me, I'd... you named them something way more cringy. Who's cringy, huh? But if Dark Knight really is the culprit here, something is still way off. The way he's vehemently defending himself isn't quite right. But I still think you're some kind of key to this. I mean, Right, the moment we open the game from your site, we find ourselves here and all. Wait a second. I didn't ask before, but did you two post on the forum of Realm of Heaven? Yeah, we're regulars. Recently, that JB guy has been harassing you a lot. JB? Trying to think of who that would be in the game, in the Fata Morgana lore. In response to that, you made it a big deal that you were going to have something on April Fool's. So the regulars on the site got pretty curious about that. Regulars? Mel. Oh, you're that Mel. No wonder I felt like I'd heard it before. You use that name to make posts. Yeah. I was using my real name online. Not smart. I mean, I've done it, so I can't really complain. And Nelly, who are you? I don't remember that name. I go by the name Pinky Rose. I wonder if I'm the one who thinks that's nice. I remember that name too. I see. So you two really were on my site. It's an odd feeling meeting someone in real life that I've only ever seen online. I definitely didn't think an IRL meetup would be like this. I'm meeting my online friends IRL this month when we go to PAX in Boston. It's going to be great. I went there a couple of years ago and it was awesome. Well, you probably had no intention of hosting one anyway. No. But honestly, even if you said you were going to have one, I wouldn't have gone. Alright. So right around April Fool's, there were people posting on forums about a new game. Yeah, right. Aside from you two, JB, Pow Pow, AID, and also Imion. Oh, I know. That's Paula. AID? Aid? I'm not sure who that would be. And Imion? I'm also not sure who that would be. What if that means they're here with us? No way. But then again, we have no real reason to believe that it's only us here. If the cause of us opening that game that we downloaded, they could always very well be involved in this. If that's true, are you here too, Imian? I think I can believe that you didn't make this game. But don't you at least know something, anything, even something really minute? I don't. I never thought about making an RPG, so... Think of something? Just once I thought about making one. But I ditched it. The only thing that came of it was a loosely compiled outline. Class titles and everything basically were all placeholders, and it had been 4 years since I thought of it. That's ages ago. At the time, I thought an RPG would be good for my first release. Although in the end, it turned to be more of a sim-type game. Fairy House, right? I actually really like that one. Oh, really? That's a little unexpected. I feel like they only ever complained about that one. Maybe she's just being nicer now that we're face to face, or maybe it's just fluff. No, whatever. Why'd you stop making the RPG? Oh, no reason, really. I just kind of got sick of working on it. Although, truthfully, I couldn't manage all the settings and couldn't quite flesh out a detailed story, so I really never got on top of it. But if I say that, they'll say something like that happens to all beginners. A detailed story. What's the matter? Honestly, since it was 4 years ago, I don't really remember. I didn't even decide on a name for it. But I remember the outline vaguely. The intro, I think I remember, involves the protagonist getting taken to another world and descending into a graveyard. Why did you have him come down in a graveyard of all places? I want to make it a little unique. I don't know. Going grimdark just to be edgy is pointless. Shut up. But yeah, this is it. We're in that scenario. What's going on here? It was just a failed project, so why is it happening like this? The world of a game that was never meant to be released, and here we are, experiencing it for real. Doesn't feel more like a mystery. Really? Not very well done for a mystery. Well, I'm so sorry it's not to your liking. No, I don't mean to diss you there, Dark Knight. Mysteries, have to give the reader some complex machination that they need to solve. Something like an objective. We've just been thrown into something randomly with no clue what's happening. We don't have anything close to an objective right now. This isn't even enough for a lead-in. I had originally thought that she was the ditzy type, but now I'm starting to reconsider my opinion of her. Hey, I bet you just had a mean thought, didn't you? No, nothing like that. An objective. True, we had no idea what it was supposed to do. Although a vague objective, meaning clearing the game, perhaps? As in something we're supposed to do. But why, though? In order to understand what's going on, and also to return to where we came from. Do you have any proof that we can go back if we beat the game? Nope. However, games to begin with are basically the things that let you experience the unreal. Whatever medium it may be. And when that ends, the unreal is over. And you essentially return back to reality. At least that's how I see it. Is this really some kind of game world, or is it some kind of delusion on a massive scale? And who would have set up something like this? I can't make any judgments yet, but if what's happening so far is according to the flow of a game, then it must mean it wants to continue. Let me speculate. Purely hypothetical, of course. None of us can determine by what method this came to be. But if this is a game world or an imitation of one, and moreover, if it is based on a project that I had scrapped, then I should be able to predict the flow of the story, at least to a certain degree. I wasn't the creator of Seventh Lair, however, it is based on my outline. And for the guy who made the outline to be here, in some way, it's an advantage in our favor. So first we head to the starting village. And beat the game? Huh? For me, I just want to know what the heck this place is, and also if there's any actual danger to us here. But if I can be with you, big brother, I don't really care where we are. Right, me too. If I can be with you, I'm fine with wherever I am. That's weird. It's like you two want to be in your own world. But, You know, want your family to be worried about you? It doesn't really matter. If this isn't the real world, then why should our family matter at all? No, it's not. Anyway, I've been wondering for a bit now, but why do you think that this isn't the real world? Maybe it's all a big construct, you know, or some extension of reality? You don't think so? I don't. This isn't reality. It's a game world. Why, though? I think we'll know soon enough. But still, if we stay here doing nothing, then the story won't progress. And plus, I must get back to the real world. There's someone is waiting for me. Huh? Even though you're a friendless, shut-in neat? You've been going a little too far with those jabs. My girlfriend. I have someone special. Huh. No, Dark Knight, having an imaginary girlfriend only amplifies the pain. She's not imaginary. I can't believe it. A shut-in need with a girlfriend? That's enough to tear the fabric of existence. Big brother, it's merely a pathetic illusion. Something like that can't possibly exist. Hey, what are you two getting at? Whatever. Leaving the imaginary girlfriend aside for now. She really exists, though. I'll agree to your plan and move forward. It's true that if we stay here, we'll never know anything. And plus, even if we clear the game, we don't really know if it'll end, right? It kind of sounds like she doesn't want to return to reality. What's up with these two? Is there something going on with them? Okay, then let's go. Off to the starting town or whatever. Yeah. For now, let's try making progress. Getting a grasp of our situation is first and foremost. I should also tell them my real name. Not now, though. Later. I may mute this music. I'm sorry. It's really nerve-wracking. It's just the same, like, 2 chords over and over and over and over. Oh, keyboard. Boy, that's a nice looking keyboard. Emion. So, is it tomorrow when you get to meet that girl? Honestly, I had no idea how this will all play out. Oh, I know you're happy inside, LOL. But come on, you should be glad you have a fan. Is she really a fan? I mean, who would like this random no-name site on the fringe? Don't some of us come here because we like it? Only because they have nothing else to do. True, there are no other users like her who send those intense mails to you. I almost couldn't believe it when you showed me. Maybe she's a little suspiciously forward. Could be some kind of trap. Don't get catfished. You're the type that easily gets scammed. I'd like to think I'm not careless enough to get scammed. I seem to remember you saying that once before, lol. You jerk. But either way, you should be half excited, half on your guard. I'm telling you, I'm not going to get scammed. Well, I hear you. But these things can be landmines. There's no guarantee it'll actually be a female. And if you waltz up all hopeful, you could be in for a bad time. Please don't let this be a guy pretending to be a girl. Even if it's a girl, she might be a psycho-clingy type. God, I hope not. Can't wait to hear all the stories you'll have from this. I shouldn't have come to you for help. Imion? Okay, this isn't because I'm overly expecting anything, and it's just me being hypothetical, but if it's just some completely normal girl, what should I do? Ah, this loser is actually expecting something. I knew it. I could see that, you know. Yeah, huh? Well, at the very least, how about you learn to make a cappuccino or something? Ooh. You know, I always thought that I wanted to be a game creator. Yeah, I thought that I could perfectly reproduce the game worlds I imagined in my mind. You know, I thought all the game ideas I had were revolutionary. I thought that if I could get into a game company, I could make what I wanted to. And I thought all would sing my praises. So I thought. It was likely that most of those with the lavish title of creator thought just as much. Think I'm a genius, that I have something special with which separates me, and using that special something that can impress and inspire, and also that other people's ideas were drab. Or, for a less delicate way of saying it, I can make something way better than you boring as hell pile of garbage. I mean, Lots of people wouldn't hesitate to say it. And without much doubt in my mind, I was like that too. And in some ways, my dream came true. But then it was crushed. 5 years ago, I found myself with a small developer, and I, as I always wanted, was officially working on games. But that place was like a cesspool of despair. Like when I had no idea, or when we had a brainstorming meeting, or when I made a proposal, or when I made a spec sheet, or when I literally tried to do anything at all, the people who were considered my superiors would curl their lips into a wicked, sadistic smile and shoot me down repeatedly. I mean, I was new, so things were rough around the edges. But they weren't just here to reshape my ideas. They had to strip them bare and grind them into oblivion. Ragging on others was fun for them and alleviated their stress. Criticism was that easy, and you could learn it quickly. Plus, ideas were easiest to step on before they had any really taken shape. But it was hard having my ideas rejected. It was almost as if they were saying that my brain was a boring failure of a product. I mean, a person can't continue putting out ideas if you constantly trample on them. If they could, they wouldn't be the developer at the bottom of the barrel. They would be on bigger projects, putting out huge original titles into the world. But I, for one, as well as others there, weren't that kind of person. That's why I wore out and eventually became a cog with nowhere to go. There was a time when I scoffed at the routine nature of office work, but I've come to be amazed at the stability office workers have. A highly functioning cog as opposed to a stripped down, busted one. Night and day difference. I ended up quitting within a year. I would never see the day where a game I created would be released into the world. How could someone who couldn't even endure being on the bottom ever really have a chance to release an original title? It's the truth. Cold and hard as it is. But if I was forced to stay in that toxic sludge, my brain would have eventually rusted, and even if my time came, I probably wouldn't have been able to have an original thought anyway. And plus, there are other methods. I mean, who said you couldn't make an original title unless you're part of a company? There's no such rule. Great people have made amazing games being by themselves. Look at the guy who made Stardew Valley. That's another good one. There's always the indie community, isn't there? And right about that time, indie games were all the rage. They were all over the place in game magazines. One that was really making headlines was a game a college girl made where all you do is raise a bunch of plants. And one that wasn't really a game at all. And even after millions of downloads, it showed no signs of slowing. I mean, if people were willing to buy that, I could make something too. By myself if need be. No problem. I would make it happen. Or at least I thought as much. And 4 years ago, I made Ryuma Heaven and released to the world what would be my first game, Fairy House. I didn't think Fairy House was bad. Come on, don't get all bummed out. You still got everything ahead of you, yeah? There might be a spark soon enough. It might just be that no one's aware of it, and luck plays a big role too, I think. I just think about what you're going to do next. Oh, you always say that because you've never made anything before. I'm giving it out for free and it hasn't even reached 100 downloads yet. And if that wasn't bad enough, just when I thought I would get some reactions, all I get are complaints. I mean, it's free. I'm letting them play it for free. Well, I mean, I guess I can understand getting heated, but it won't come together without players. Maybe you could try and get closer to them, to the users, I mean. To only 100 people, and probably less than half of them have even played it? That's at least more than a classroom. A lot more. Maybe Fairy House is just that kind of game. You send messages to fairies, teach them language, and expand conversations. It's just a conversation game. People could start conversing with them the way they imagine, then their satisfaction will go way up. And it'll be more like a game where you raise them. But as it is now, it's not at the point where you can have a real conversation. That's why they got sick of it and complain. You could make it so that you could sample user data, then update it. The users all contribute and make Fairy House bigger. Something like that would make it unique and maybe fun. I mean, that'd be a lot of work for you. You can suggest all that because you're not a creator. But I'll give it some thought. Yeah, do it. There's no way I could do something like make games, so it's only me running my mouth, but here's what I think. Majority of people have no idea how to make games. Absolutely not at all. And they don't try to understand it. They don't even need to anyway. You don't need to know how to make a game to play a game. I can play games all day. I can only barely make a game. I've tried in the past. It has not went well. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work that is unseen that people do not realize. All they need to understand is how to play it. But now you know how much effort it takes to make even a floundering flop of a game. You've learned, even with that crappy system and a crappy world, you know the time and the effort it takes to get that start menu. By completing the first product of Royomi Heaven, you've moved to the side of understanding. I think that's a big first step, you hear? Sometimes I wonder, are you a creator yourself? I'm just a well of knowledge is all. I get like this after a while, but I don't want to impart my knowledge on just anyone. It's only because you've made me a fan of Fairy House. Someone's blushing behind the screen. I am not. I could easily make something like this. In reality, that confidence was quickly shattered in the development process. The other girl was a mere college student with no knowledge of game making, and there I was with a whole year of professional work under my belt. I thought it was just a case of watch a pro work, but what resulted was something light years away from millions of downloads, and something that was railed and ridiculed yet again by critics. Emion consoled me by saying, "At least you were noticed, but it'd be worse if it was completely ignored, but personally, if they were going to tease me, I would have preferred if they said nothing. I don't have a thick enough skin to brush it off. In fact, I was so upset I wanted to die at times. At the same time, I was furious. But the one who stuck with me was Emion. I met Emion when I was still a university student, although we've never actually met directly. We met on an MMORPG and we got along like two peas in a pod. When we get sick of a game, we'd move on to the next one together. We'd be at each other's throats sometimes too, like when one of us would blow it in a co-op game, like an FPS. If we were grinding levels in an RPG, we'd have in-depth talks about the menu system and whatnot. Our preferences were almost one and the same when it came to being on the consumer end. I eventually noticed we were chatting almost every day. Our online correspondence continued for years, but I had never suggested actually meeting up. Or had he. It wasn't like we had no interest in doing so, but more like there was no reason to. In some ways, being online gave us a far more real connection than meeting face-to-face. Not knowing his real name or where he lived, that, in fact, might have been the reason it was so easy to have him as a friend. If I had to say what I knew about Emion, it was that he was a guy about my age who liked mostly the same stuff. Then about 2 years after starting Royomi Heaven, I had no real steady job and was piddling around with game projects at home. I had 5 releases so far. My site was becoming a bizarre hangout for the regulars only, and it was about that time I got a message from a woman. "Hello. I really like your games." Her online name was Giselle. Giselle. After running the site for 2 years, some decent reviews started coming in. But there had never, ever been someone like her who wrote with such politeness and, moreover, a sense of passion in her responses. She had written extensively in reaction to each of my games released thus far. Can't believe how into Fairy House I am right now. It's so different than anything that's out. I'm at the point where whenever I see a fireplace, I can't help but think of it. I don't know. I just feel like I have friends on my computer now. Like I have someone I can talk to, like maybe a counselor. I can completely talk to them about anything. My little fairies. Once I got used to the illustrations, they just got cuter and cuter. And Crash Team is just so neat. It's, what do you call it, a block game? It was so easy to get into. But I messed up so many times, destroying the whole world. And I think on the 3rd level, I set a new record. I see your 3rd game is a visual novel. That's kind of surprising. It's so cool that you can write too, although the story was a little dark and kind of made me sad. Do you ever write happier stories? I want to read more of the things that you write. Maybe something about young love or... The game title is Royomi Heaven? How surprising. It's the same as the site. Is the Royomi that you imagine something like this world? There's no monsters or items, but I never get bored playing it. Were the people who left the notes meant to lead you, or were those people lost in Royomi to begin with? The 5th one. I never expected to be a rhythm game. Such a funny theme. Hitting the heart to the beat is a little weird for girls, but that might be what's so neat about you. Oh, I mean, I thought so at first, but after I played a little bit, it got so fun, and now I can't put it down. Might be addicted, but it's really so amazing that you can make such unique indie games like this. Her adorably newbie responses were actually about the fresh air. She wrote no criticisms, no constructive or otherwise, just simple accounts of her enjoyment. It almost made me cringe in embarrassment reading them. Surprising in my giddiness, but also larger sense of shock, I copied her messages and forwarded them to Imian. Took me a whole week to reply to her. I had no idea what to say. I was supposed to be thanking her, but I felt an odd pressure writing my replies and started to stress over it. Maybe she doesn't want to reply, you know? I mean, who would be happy getting a response from me? Maybe she just wanted to write something? I started getting really pessimistic about it all. I felt like I would end up destroying her built-up image of who Dark Knight was. Dark Knight is nothing special. He's a loser. The slime of society. He even struggles to pay his taxes. He has no steady job, yet he squanders his time in MMOs. And to top it off, he's nearing 30. If he was really unique, he would have been famous long ago. He's saying he's anything but, though. So, maybe it was scary to think her illusion would be broken. Maybe I thought that I myself couldn't live up to my users' expectations. But in the end, no matter how many times I tried to stop myself, I expressed my gratitude. I mean, I genuinely wanted to give her my thanks. Oh, I'm so glad. I thought I was maybe bothering you with my comments. I'm so happy you replied. Giselle again replied with her usual excitement. And to someone lame like me. She then offered an unexpected proposition. It's a little hard for me to express myself online. If it's okay with you, if it's not an inconvenience. Just one time even. Would you be willing to meet with me? Oh, I should have refused her. I shouldn't have come. I should have just turned back. In this downtown area of Paris, my regrets were slowly consuming me. We agreed to meet in a cafe. She gave me both the name and address of the place, so there was no mistake. Our planned meeting this time was steadily encroaching upon me. I lived in downtown Paris, so it wasn't hard to get here, but for her to suggest this cafe must have meant that she did too. To reach out to as many users as possible, I made all my games and site contents in English. So to have someone actually want to meet like this was phenomenally unlikely. And I just realized that moments before. She was French as well. And moreover, she lived in Paris. In the endless ocean of the internet, she found my random fringe website, and she took a liking to my games. So much so that she wanted to meet me. Isn't this... Oh, just a little too convenient. I bet this is really Imian. Wouldn't that be wild? They were like the same person. Couldn't this just be one of my former classmates or coworkers who found my site and was toying with me? I bet they just want to laugh at my expense that they can lure me out with a girl. That's quite possible. No, wait. That's the only thing this possibly could be. Who the hell plotted this? Or maybe it was him. Or no, it had to be him. It doesn't matter. I have to act now that I figured it out. I'll go home. Not a moment to lose right now. I won't be the butt of their joke. Excuse me, can I have the check? Moments before the appointed time and at the limit of my calm, I asked for the check when the cafe door opened and the chilly clang of the cowbell on top rang throughout the room. And then long, silky black hair, her eyes the color of jade, shockingly clear. They froze me in place. I looked at her and was relatively sure that I had a dumbstruck look on my face. After the initial surprise of seeing my face, with a smile, a brilliantly warm smile. Very likely the first time I'd ever seen such a shimmering smile. She looked at me and spoke. Is that you, Dark Knight? From the bottom of my soul, I regretted not telling her my real name. It's weird. My friends use my online handle, which you all know is Shatter Controllers, but my real name is Alan. And it's weird that they continue to say Shattered when they are speaking to me and not Alan like I do to them. I speak to them as their real names. It's funny. Oh my god, this music. In the vague outline that I had, the main characters in this party went to Starting Village first. I mean, we wouldn't have any equipment unless we got outfitted, so it's as cliche as you can get in terms of RPG progression. But now I was gripped with regret. Why did I try and be unique and have my main character start in a graveyard? Why, oh why, could I not have had him start out in a town? And now here I was, being forced to find the faults with my game in person. Whoa, hey, we can't make any progress like this. Do something about it, Mr. Creator. All I did was make the outline for this. Any issues with story progression is not my responsibility. You don't get to weasel your way out of this. Hey, no, don't be so loud. They're gonna notice us. We were trying to be silent in the brush, but we weren't even capable of that. And now we have a very real, unreal something before us. Something that shouldn't even exist. What could us real people possibly do against it? Yep, there it is. Living and breathing, wriggling around, a fictional being. Look. Ew. It's a slime. What can we do about it? It's so gross how it moves. Wait, hang on, just calm down. Seeing the real thing makes me want to turn away, but it's merely a slime. A slime is an enemy monster that often appears in the early stages of a game. It is meant to be something that you can beat even at level 1. Beat it? That? Are you seriously suggesting that? I was hoping maybe you would... You're supposed to be the hero, you spineless dummy. I'm not the hero because I wanted to be. Hey, that's a rude way of putting it. You say beat it, but we're just regular people. We don't even know if we have levels to begin with. If we're actually characters in the game here, I'd at least like to see some sort of status menu. We just seem like ourselves. This still doesn't feel real at all. Right, I've of course never seen that creature with my own eyes. Maybe the NPCs in this game feel like this too? Feel like how? Well, when we play games, we make them jump into battle with no hesitation. But actually, like, what kind of creature is that? Or how strong is it? Or whether it's something we should fight? Or how to fight in the first place? Aren't they completely clueless too? So maybe they're really scared. Facing a monster without having any idea what lies ahead. I never actually thought about it like that. Well, games are just that. They're games. The characters have the ability to fight from the onset. They're not average people. Well, whatever. It's impossible for us to try and take them that on. I think all we can do was wait until it goes somewhere else. Yeah, you're right. Now that's settled. Let's stay quiet here for a while. All this stress is exhausting me. Huh? Huh? What's this? A cushion? There's something soft against my butt. And now you're sitting on... that. What do you mean that? What else would I? You need to be more specific. Ah! It's here. I mean, it was here all along. We gotta... Calm down. That's not a word. Hey, wait, there's one over there. The one over there is going to see us too. What? It's... Big brother, you're tagged. What? Tagged? Allow me to explain. That mark means you're being targeted by the enemy. For the most part, the closest character or the last one that inflicted damage will be tagged. Or the one that's the squishiest in RPGs, so at times. However, there are also enemies with skills to target your support characters. Yeah, thanks for the long-winded explanations. So wait, I'm in serious danger here. Create a diversion first, Mal. Get real, you whack job. We shall not forget your vigilant sacrifice. Valiant sacrifice also. Don't just sacrifice me. Well, it's moving. No, wait, weren't you supposed to be a mage? Can't you, I don't know, use some kind of ranged magic that hits both of them? What? I don't know any magic. And wait, aren't you the creator of this? Didn't you make all the spells? Just a moment, please. Let's try to remember. Remember faster? I think something like frizz, something like zip, something like whoosh. What's the cliche names everyone's heard before? There's only an outline. Have you no originality? I think that's one of the 3 forbidden words to say to a creator. Ah, forget it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I should chant those, right? I'll try it out. Frizz or something. Zap or something. Something censoring the words. Big surprise. Copyright screwing the little guys again. Boy, tell me about it. God, YouTube's been really bad lately with copyright. One of my Danganronpa videos are copyrighted. It sucks. Hey, can I slap you? Just one good slap. I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get killed right off the bat by a starter mob. Let's get out of here fast. If we go straight ahead, we should get to the town. Full speed until we get there. This game's great. It's funny. I like it. It looks like they're not following. The tag is off me, so it looks like we made it somehow. But why did they seem to disappear the moment we got into town? Oh. I'm out of shape. It's because the tag was automatically taken off. You have laughably bad endurance. I've never seen such an uninspiring hero. I haven't ran since college at all. Even still, this is just pathetic. I hope I'm not turning out like this as an adult. You two just have too much energy. Damn, they're not even out of breath at all. This is youth. What do you mean the tag was automatically taken off? Typical of most RPGs, the monsters aren't allowed into the towns. When we exited the world map, we entered the town area. The monsters, now without a target, will either return to their original locations or simply wander around outside town. Oh, so it's a system thing. Well, as long as we're safe. What's up, Nelly? Doesn't something about here feeling funny? Yeah, I don't know how to put it. I mean, the vibe's just really off. I can hear people talking and it seems buzzing with activity, but something's weird. Weird? Background sounds are looping. Huh? What'd you say? Like the BGM, all the other background sounds are looping. The actual activity of this town is just the sounds giving that impression. I think if we go to the town center, we'll just see just that. Since the monsters acted according to some kind of system. I see. So the people will be the same way. Correct. The NPCs aren't actually talking with one another. They're really doing movements that look like they are. The sounds aren't really related. Either way, let's get to the town center. My prediction was right on the mark. The people wander around town just like the monsters, only had uniform road movements. They went back and forth on the same course, your typical NPCs, you know. The NPCs had a total of 5 different appearances, and I could see the same models over and over, but at a glance they looked no different from regular humans. They weren't artificial like dolls, and, you know, that kind of almost made it scarier. Oh no, it was really unsettling. When we walked up and spoke to them, they replied with only short, set phrases. Weather sure is good today, or I've been so busy lately, or good day for fishing, ain't it? And nothing else. Have you ever seen NPC Man from Viva or Dirt League? Those guys are freaking hilarious. They make great skits. Same expressions with the same phrase over and over. My first suspicion was that this was some kind of elaborate hoax. Was starting to crumble away. For a trick like this, there was no way you could get together this many identical people. But in that case, what in the world were we seeing here? An illusion? A hallucination? Or was it just a dream? Deep down, I really didn't want to believe this was a game world. Hey, that guy is different from the rest. Mystified by the place we found ourselves in, we were mostly silent. Nelly broke that silence with a hopeful shout, though it did sound a little forced. Oh yeah, maybe do you think he's in the same situation as us? Ahead of us was a lone girl, looked like a nun. Oh. Excuse me, can we ask you something, please? Greetings, good travelers. This is Nahalia Village. Huh? What? Recently, we were plagued by the monsters that have inhabited the nearby cave. That wasn't what I wanted to ask. So you will rid us of them? Thank you ever so much, kind travelers. Wait a second here. Who decided that? If you pay a visit to the village lord, he will surely provide you with travel funds and equipment. The lord's castle is directly ahead at the end of this road. No, don't tell me you're also. I pray for your good fortune ahead. An NPC? Oh, man. She seems unique among the others, so why is... Hey, you're messing with us, right? You're like us and you can talk normally, right? Greetings, good travelers. This is Nahalia Village. Recently, we were plagued by the monsters that have inhabited the nearby cave. No. Ah, so we got rid of them. Thank you ever so much, good travelers. Say something else, please. If you pay a visit to the village lord, he will surely provide you with travel funds and equipment. The lord's castle is directly ahead at the end of this road. Now forget it. I pray for your good fortune ahead. Boy, that's a bummer. I like that one. Ah, this sucks. I'm losing the will to go on. Greetings, good travelers. This is Nahalia Village. Recently, we are plagued by the monsters that have inhabited the nearby cave. Enough already, we get it. Let us put some distance between her and us. It's registering us as trying to talk to her. Yeah. If she's an NPC, they should at least make her look like the others. I got excited for nothing. She may be a special NPC. What does that mean? Some NPCs have unique roles given to them, so they make the character stand out from the mob. She may be important later on. But an NPC is still an NPC. Well, true. Fine. Thinking is getting us nowhere, but wait, this town actually had a name. Did you think of that in the outline? Yeah. I guess I thought of it, but they were all placeholder names. I just thought of some random ones that sounded like they would work. Hang on. Nahala? If you spell that backwards... Aliaha. Why did you steal the name of the first village from something so famous? You could at least call it a homage. Have you ever heard of something called originality? I don't... Aliaha? What is that? Hang on, let me look it up. Not sure. Ah, geez. Who cares anyway? Let's just keep moving. The Lord's Castle's ahead, right? That's where we should go, right? Can't wait to see what lies ahead in this stupid story. Stop running your mouth off. Let's get a move on. Start walking. Ah! There was someone shouting just now. No, wait. Maybe it's not an NPC this time. Ah, yeah. It's, oh, who's this guy's name? Crap. What's wrong with you all? You only say the same things over and over and grab me when I try to leave. I'll destroy you, you vermin. He's actually speaking. And he's getting angry at the NPCs. Why don't you try and say something else for once, you damn zombies? You just... And then who are you? Another one of these who can only say the same thing? No. We're not NPCs. I think we may be in the same situation as you. When we came to, we found ourselves in Seventh Lair. I was in this, it started with a G, right? Is that his name? It's like a Spudo or something. I don't know why I'm thinking that's his name. That doesn't seem right. So we're on the same side? I'm so glad there's another person here besides us. Really? Are you really different from them? Yeah, really. We're moving completely by our own consciousness. We're not NPCs. Oh, looks like he's about to cry. I see. Good. Oh, he snapped himself out of it. But what on earth is going on here? I thought to go outside to inspect, but every time I did, they grabbed me and pulled me back here. And they did it without a single expression on their faces. It was so grossly bizarre. What's the meaning of this? Well, let's just calm down. Next to the fuming man before us was another who looked like an attendant, standing still, also expressionless. He was certainly an NPC of the castle. How am I supposed to calm down? Just trying to imagine the insanity I've been to deal with. It was hard, Owen. I understand. No. You see, it isn't fear in the slightest that I feel. I merely wanted to express how uncomfortable it was. Huh? Wait, are you one of those cringy betas? I hope he's not one of those internet tough guys. Who do you think you're speaking to? The Lord? Jacopo! That's it. JB! That's it. Okay, Jacopo. Elite youth of almighty NVC Corporation. He just labeled himself an elite. What? NVC? Do not tell me you do not know NVC. No, I don't. I don't know either. Good grief, I should have expected as much from kids. Hey you stick in the mud long-haired freak. You surely know of it. Well, sorry I'm not the most exciting person to you. Yeah, it's a pretty famous international company. The recent stock gains have been particularly impressive. Isn't it? It's the cream of the crop after all. So why is an elite member of an elite corporation being subjected to this? Offer me an explanation now. Okay, then I'll explain. So what you're saying is you understand nothing, am I right? Yes. So we're left with no choice but to progress with the game. Progress with the game, you say. But you said you're the owner of that cringy little site. To think Dark Torque wasn't some middle schooler, but a full-grown adult. Pardon me for that. You trying to start a fight? So, you know about Ryume Heaven too? Yeah, I'm in the same position as you halflings. I too downloaded the April Fool's game. I posted on the site under the name JB. I was wondering why I had an angry deja vu feeling. It's him. The troll JB. Oh, don't blame me. DK is the one at fault for having paper-thin skin. Oh, come on, I'm gracing that lame site on the fringe of the internet with my presence. The user is God, if I'm not mistaken. Shouldn't you be a bit more thankful? Yet you responded indignantly without a shred of thanks. Shouldn't you be saying, I thank you humbly for your generous opinion? Speechless, I see. I hope you get laid off and starve to death, you piece of trash. Hey, that really hurt him, the poor guy. How can you not see that I'm the one who's hurting here? Now then, you said you were progressing forward with the game. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen if we just stand around. Well, do your best. I shall wait for you for your report. Huh? There are monsters or some such outside, yes? Who in their right mind would willingly join you hooligans on such an outing? This is most certainly something for underlings to... Oh, our valiant lord, are you truly saying that you yourself will venture out to eradicate the fiends? Huh? Please do no such thing, my lord. What shall become of the castle should something happen to you? You stop it. I never implied that I would. Rectifying the problems of the land is the duty of the lord, I understand. Ah, what a truly noble man you are. Do you possess ears? Very well, we shall await your safe and sound return. Please leave everything here to us in your absence. Listen to me. I pray for your victory, my lord. Ah, damn it. JB was forcefully taken out of the castle. I guess he was supposed to join us in part of the game. Well, let's head out and meet with him. Oh, come on, no reason to pout. You should look on the bright side. Now you can move around as you please, right? What does this mean? Before I couldn't get outside no matter what I tried. Probably a flag if I had to guess. A flag? A flag is a trigger that makes something happen in a game. If we didn't clear the event of Lord becomes an ally, then the Lord was probably restricted to that room. I'm not a character here, you insolent. Well, it is how it is. I'll grace you all with my presence, but listen, you'll be the ones taking care of the monsters, are we clear? Unlike you all, I have aspirations and potential back in the real world. I can't let anything happen to me here. If we end up getting killed by monsters, what's going to happen to us? That's a topic I don't want to think about. It's an element of the game, or would we lose our actual lives? I certainly don't want to test it. We're on the same boat, I'm sure. I don't want to test it. I don't want to take the risk. Well, me too. If I die... Giselle, dying without seeing you again, I just can't. Achievement unlocked, the starting village. Are we back in the cafe? I hope we're back in the cafe. I like the real world elements too. It's kind of nice. Ah, we are back in the cafe. Giselle's a cutie. She's really cute in that outfit too. All the characters are actually really good in those outfits. I really like Nelly. She's pretty cute in her little outfit. I didn't really care for her in her in the main game, but she's not so bad here. I sat frozen in front of the black-haired girl. I knew I had to respond. If I didn't hurry and nod and say, "Why, yes, that's me," she would be uneasy. Despite knowing I had to speak, my throat was suddenly bone dry, and I couldn't. "Did you request a check?" The waiter spoke before I could. My eyes went wide in panic, remembering that I had asked for the check moments ago. Oh, no, not yet. So sorry. I instead, can I get one cappuccino, please? Right away, sir. In my flustered, jittery state, I remembered how to speak and turned to the girl. Yes, yes, that's me. Even with my dorky response, her face bloomed like a flower opening on a sunny morning. Ah, good. I thought for a moment I had made a mistake. Did I perhaps make you wait? Oh, no, not at all. I think I may have actually come too early. Oh, I see. In that case, I should have come sooner myself. Oh, may I take a seat? Oh, yeah, please. I was growing increasingly disconcerted with my inability to say anything considerate. Why did I get so nervous like this? My heart felt like it was on a vice, and I was growing antsy in my seat. I couldn't look her right in the eyes, and I was starting to feel like going home would be best. Yet it wasn't as though I was repulsed by her or anything like that. But maybe because it was an actual girl that came and not a former colleague coming to tease me, or maybe because of how beautiful she was. All of it was likely coming together in a casserole of confusion. Casserole of confusion. Oh boy. I'm so happy that you came. Oh no, I said I would, so. Now come on, I should have said, oh no, the pleasure's all mine. What was with that reply? Pull it together, man. We can talk to somebody. She's not an alien. Fortunately, she didn't seem uncomfortable after my bizarre reply. She was still smiling. How can she seem like she's enjoying herself so much? Is she really happy that she got to see me? It had been so long since I had a genuine smile aimed at me, free of any malice, so I had kind of forgotten what kind of face I should make in return. Maybe this really is some kind of scam, like Ian said. Man, nothing makes sense when you think about it. A beautiful girl like this liking my games and saying she wants to see me in person? It's too perfect. It's not possible. Makes no sense. Yes? Is this where this game begins? I wrote you a letter. I wanted to write down everything I enjoyed about the games and what I liked and how I felt. All of it. Would you be so kind as to accept it? What? A letter? Letter like on paper? Oh, they still do that? Yes, a letter. You mean by hand? Yes, of course. I mean, if it was on a computer, I could have just sent it, right? I mean, it's more personable, you know? It's more personable. No, I mean, I get lots of messages from you already, so. I just feel like something about messaging is just, it's not the same. I'm sure you're busy, so whenever you have time, I hope you can read it. Again, I was at a loss for words. This is cute. I like this story. This is a great, like, using the Fata Morgana characters in this way is actually really nice. I want them to make a sequel. Damn it. They're actually developing another game, I believe. They're supposed to... I think they're gonna... It might have already been announced, but I think they're gonna reveal it soon. I heard somewhere. Doesn't matter. I was still in disbelief that someone would give me so many thoughtful words online, almost to the extent I thought I was dreaming. And now, on top of all that, a handwritten letter from a girl as beautiful as her. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. Oh, that face. Does this seem like I'm forcing this upon you? Oh, no, 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 not at all. No. Yay. Good. Give me another cute smile. She pulled out a very girly envelope and handed it to me. Oh, did she have perfume on it? She did. It may have just been my imagination, but I felt a floral scent waft over me from it. Huh. I wonder what it is. Could be a rose of some sort. What's happening? What's happening to me? No good. Something's definitely. Are you okay? I can feel my face growing red. I need to use the restroom. Oh, he doesn't like the letter. Oh no. It's too much. It was making me shy having such emotions shown towards me, and even more so because it was actually genuine. Despite being actually happy about it, I was unable to be honest about that happiness to her. In fact, I felt ashamed at the idea of even showing my happiness. This was the way internet had poisoned me. You know, makes you second guess everything and thinking everyone and everything is out to get you. And nothing is genuine or real. No, this wasn't the internet's fault. Having only seen negativity towards me, the resistance I had tried to build against that had warped my emotions permanently. But there was no creator alive who didn't appreciate someone expressing their pleasure at his work. While I knew logically that users were various and unique in their own ways, it was hard to see them as anything other than just a cloud of anonymous users. It's kind of like that with YouTube subscribers and stuff and views. It's hard to see them as more than just yet another number in your analytics. And I think when you get really, 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 really big, to the point where the numbers almost don't matter, the individual numbers anyway, it gets harder and harder to picture these as actual real life people. It's easier, at the beginning, but as you grow, it gets a little more difficult, and at some point you got to step away, and think about, the individual who's, watching your content or whatever, and how that affects them, and all the comments and whatnot and all the good stuff, and also the bad stuff. There's always going to be bad stuff. You got to take the good with the bad, right? If there weren't bad times, then you never know when the good times are, right? Because you wouldn't have any context. Giselle had emerged from that as an individual. It was a gorgeous ray of sunshine for me. She was no longer just a screen name on the other side of this, of the screen. She's a real person. Has feelings. She's also cute. That helps a lot. After I regained my composure and sat down again, I was able to actually hold a conversation. I know, I'm amazed too. Yet, whenever she directly praised something about my games, I could only mutter an awkward chuckle. But how in the world did she find out about my games? It really wouldn't be blunt to say my games weren't famous. I had yet to be featured in any sort of publication, so it was puzzling to no end how a normal girl like Giselle would know about them. Was Giselle really normal? She didn't use any internet slang, and if she said she was the daughter of some rich family, I'd completely believe it. So the puzzle got even more confusing, or more confounding, rather. How could such a seemingly normal girl be, in fact, a massive fan of indie games? So where'd you find out about it? About, my site? My friend told me about it. She answered in a softly honest voice. Oh, so you don't usually play games? No, not usually, although I really like reading. Her answer was disappointing, and not in a small way. She said in her messages that my games were unique and stood apart. But that really actually meant nothing, and she merely thought that because she didn't know nothing else. She doesn't play games. She can't compare them to anything. All she knows are these games, so to speak. Maybe in reality my games lacked any kind of sparkle or originality. But you know what? You know what the special thing is about this? For someone who's played dozens of games, okay, let's take this game for example. Let's take House of Fata Morgana, right? If you've never played a visual novel ever, It would be amazing, right? You would love it. I mean, even if you have, like I do, it's one of my favorite, probably my favorite visual novel ever made. But like to someone who doesn't know of anything else, this would be the most unique, amazing experience they ever had. And that, you know what? And sometimes, that's all you need. It may not be original to the millions of VNs out there. Millions, I don't know, but to the one person who's never played a visual novel but plays that game, you know, it's amazing to them. And that's all you need, at the end of the day, to make someone happy and all that jazz. Okay. Enough waxing poetic here. So Dark Knight, do you Oh, sorry, call me Michelle, please. Michelle's my real name. How much you want to bet Emion is like the friend, right? That introduced her to him? I bet it. I bet that's the plot here. Oh, what a nice name you have. Oh, okay, Michelle. It's too weird having her call me by my screen name, so I corrected her. But now what? It was almost more embarrassing hearing her say my actual name. It's almost too common of a name, so sometimes I wish I had a more interesting one. Both women and men have it, so sometimes I hear my name being said on the street, and of course, there's no one who would actually be talking to me on the street, so I just don't really like it. What am I getting so flustered about? It's an angel's name, so though it's beautiful. And lots of people choosing it as a name means that lots of people think it's beautiful, right? It's a good name. Michael. I like his name. Why can't I just say thank you like a normal person? Oh, I was wondering. Michael. Is it Michael or Michelle? Yeah, because in the game, spoilers. Michelle is like he's like what is it called? He doesn't have like male parts. He also doesn't female. I don't think he has any reproductive organs at all, so, which is why he was kind of cast out of the family. Um, and he was like cast out into the mansion to live the rest of his days. So I always called him Michael, but I think it's Michelle. You could do either or. I think it's fine. Yes. Do you have your studio here in Paris? Oh man, if I knew French, I would totally be speaking French right now. Or and him, I guess they both live in France. Studio. How famous do you think I am? What kind of studio could she mean? Yeah, studio where you make your games. Her innocent smile shone like a cloudless sky. Oh my gosh. She was honest, and it was painfully clear she wasn't teasing me. What this told me was that she truly didn't know a thing. Ignorant to the extent that she thought indie game makers had studios. Well, I mean, some do, obviously, but yeah, a lot of people are just like, nah, they're just coding out of their house. Everything from how to make games to our social standing. Maybe some who legitimately registered as a company and had a few hits had studios, but all I did was work alone in a tiny apartment, casting my games off into the ocean of the internet. There were many like me. I knew she meant no harm, but still couldn't suppress a slight grimace. Well, how to put it? I don't have a studio, and I don't even support myself fully from those games alone. Oh, is that so? Oh, I'm sorry, I wrongly assumed. So, what sort of work do you do otherwise? Oh, yikes, I never like this question, because do you lie and say you have just a regular job, or do you just tell the truth? It was one that forced me to come to terms with where I stood in society. Question that normal people tossed around willy nilly, unaware of how destructive it was to my psyche. It's true for a lot of men. A lot of men are defined by what they do for work. Like, if you like, someone says, "Oh, I'm, seeing this guy," and they're like, "Oh, well, what does he do?" You know, and a lot of men are defined by that. So like during like retirement or if someone loses their job, someone can get really depressed. They can get really down and out because, you know, it's kind of a sense of purpose. They feel like if they don't aren't doing that, if they aren't contributing to society, that they feel useless. I had that happen, when I was out of work, and it's not fun. It really isn't. It does start to affect you after a while. I write things in a way. Oh, so you're a writer. I wanted to crawl into a hole. I could feel the eyes of all the world's proper writers searing into me. No, you're wrong. It's nothing even remotely commendable like that. And even if I say I write stuff, that doesn't mean it can even be considered writing. I wrote short stories in like high school, like years ago. But I'm not gonna call myself a writer because I haven't wrote anything in at least 15 years. Believe me, there's a lot you'd be better off not knowing on the internet. The only work that rolls my way is trashy advertisements and fake reviews for stuff. I mean, if it was a scriptwriter who wrote short stories, I would have actually bragged about that to you. But I couldn't tell her any of that. I still had some pride as a man, and I didn't want to purposely tear down the inflated dreamlike image she had of me, so I took the compliments, even knowing she was completely missing the mark. She was wrong. Yet I maintained a vague equilibrium, also lacking the courage to go along with it and lie. If you have a book, I'd love to read it. So what do you do normally? My only option was to steer conversation away from details about me. I'm a college student. I go to the University of Lyon. Now, Lyon is quite far away from here. Must be hard commuting. Oh, no, I live in Lyon, so... What? Good gravy, just to meet someone like me, she ventured all the way to Paris? That distance is no joke. Hang on. I'll figure out the distance for you. This is why you have me around, after all. Boy, that is far. 466 kilometers. Or 4 hours and 38 minutes to drive there, I assume. Yeah. Boy, it's a long drive. 2 hours by train, though. I thought if possible you could show me your studio too. Although that was a wrong assumption on my part. She wants to come back to our place? Oh my god, dude. Dude. If you had told me, we could have met somewhere in the middle, more convenient for you. Okay, let's do that next time. Next time? Was she serious? She honestly considering meeting again? No, no way. She's being polite. She's gonna just lose my number after we meet. After this is over. It can only have been that, right? I hadn't said a single thoughtful or interesting thing. If she was thinking to meet me again, that was simply inconceivable. With my current girlfriend though, I was kind of like that, where I thought we just went out to dinner. Nothing fancy, but I thought the date went okay. Nothing really amazing, but she loved it. She had a great time. She said later on she admitted that it's the best first date she's ever been on, and that really made me proud. Like wow, maybe I'm not such a bad guy after all. Which was why I again responded vaguely. Oh wait, it's over. Oh wait, there's more. Isn't the smell of a bookstore the best? Such a unique and familiar scent, so calming. I like walking into a good bookstore, After talking at the cafe a bit longer, we stopped by a bookstore. The cafe actually got a bit crowded, and I felt guilty occupying a table that long for just one cappuccino. Once outside, she said, "It's been a while since I visited Paris." In response, I ended up saying, "Oh, is there anywhere you'd like to go?" I was shocked such a thing could emerge from my mouth, but the cold sweats began. It was a statement that presumed we would stay together after the cafe. It insinuated that I would take her somewhere. I mean, taking her to a bookstore in Paris wouldn't be unpleasant for me. In fact, I was thrilled to do so, but that didn't mean that she'd wanted it. The thought that she didn't want to be seen walking next to me immediately flooded my mind, although the fact that she was here now with me maybe meant that she liked the suggestion. No, maybe she's only pretending to be happy about it. Man, we are a negative Nancy, aren't we? All we think of is like the worst possible scenarios for everything that happens in our life. And no wonder we're a mess. Inside, she might have been thinking how much of a bother this was. Maybe she was just being polite yet again. I was always one to let negative thoughts win out. Yeah, no kidding. Is this actually a bother for you? If it is, you don't have to stay. Oh, no, not at all. It's not a bother at all for me. Okay, as long as it's not... I just got the feeling that you were a little removed. My mind just wandered in a bit of a negative direction. Sorry. What? Negative? Oh, no, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Get it together, man. The nerve of you to push your insecurities on a girl who's taken a liking to your games and to come all the way from Lyon to see you. You need to at least make her think there was some value in coming all the way to Paris. Give her something. But what would be something good to talk about right now? Favorite books? I don't know. Oh, Michael. Yes? She was the first to speak. How many times was that now? What kind of books do you like? Do you make games? I'm sure you read a lot, right? No, I didn't read much. But that was too uncool to say, obviously, so I started listing off some books that I had to read for class during college. Let's see. Well, I suppose Rimbaud or maybe Baudelaire is a good place to start. Oh, yes, indeed. I saw Season in Hell and Paris Spleen on the Royaume Heaven profile. I see you really like literature. Wow. She even read the profile. No one ever reads the profile. I only put those books on there to seem a little more cultured, you know. I couldn't claim I had literature in any meaningful way. Oh, what's that face? I haven't really read any classical literature. I always get sleepy after I start reading. Only I'd study harder. Maybe we could discuss literature on your level. What a shame. I was willing to bet that even despite that, she knew more. So it was perfect that I didn't have to reveal how clueless I was. So what kind of books do you read? The proofreading in this game could have used some work. It definitely feels like this was a little rushed, but, you know, it's fine. Mostly recent stuff. I like thrillers, but I also read romance novels too. Romance. Now, there was something I had literally never read. I imagined I would throw it on the ground after a few pages. People like me who shut themselves in, like me, tended to despise reading about others in love. Just makes you feel more depressed about your own situation. I guess our reading interests don't match. I chuckled painfully. It may have been my imagination, but she looked peeved about that. But she was quickly smiled again. Okay, maybe our movie interests match, she said. Why was she suddenly trying to find out what hobbies we had in common? And movies, huh? Although I could possibly talk about movies more than I could about books. What kind of movies do you watch, Michael? Gattaca is a great movie. That's an older movie, though. I watched recent ones, too. Gattaca? Oh, you've never heard of Gattaca? It's directed by Andrew Nicole, and the music is done by the great Michael Nyman. So it's an excellent movie. I guess I need to expand my tastes. I'll watch it sometime. What kind of movie is it? Story? Well, you should just watch it. It's science fiction set in the near future. It's quite old now, but the visuals are still stunning. I see. Is there a scene that really stands out? Yeah, the last scene. Yeah. It's obviously amazing, but yeah. The sex scene was really great, too. What the fuck? Set? Yo, what do you think you're doing? That was uncalled for. Borderline harassment. No, that wasn't my intention at all in saying it, and it wasn't a lead into some dirty joke either. It was honestly impressed by how beautifully and dreamlike they did the scene. So much to the point that I thought maybe me sleeping with someone could be a beautiful thing too. No. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It isn't something to say to a girl I only met today. Think before you speak, man. Sorry, it was artistic is what I meant. It's not at all a sexually explicit movie or anything. I see. So you like those kinds of scenes. I'll remember that. What the hell does that mean? That really sounded like she was taking it the wrong way. She looks kind of mad. I'll tell you my thoughts on Gattaca after I watch it. Oh, yeah. I nodded hesitantly, trying to brush away any misunderstanding about the sex scene. What was the sensation? Being able to share with someone else what I liked and having them understand it? Huh. Yeah, I never knew it could be such a calming feeling. There was some bashfulness mixed in there. But honestly, I was looking forward to hear what she thought about it. What words would she use to evaluate a movie I liked? What kind of emotions would she feel watching it? It was a hard to describe feeling. Peculiar feeling. It was even stranger that I was hoping that she liked the movie as much as I did. If we have some time after this, would you like to take a walk? I just think Paris can be quite pleasant. Yeah. I don't mind at all. Great. She smiled again with an honest look of joy. While losing myself in that beautiful smile, it hit me. This was a date. Paris was as it always was. I had grown so tired of its streets that I stopped even taking notice of them. But those very streets seemed to show a different side of themselves when I walked with someone else. I was sure I'd seen everything, but now I was starting to notice new things. Like when I stepped off the main boulevard to a smaller road, the scenery totally changed, or how the deli I often patronized actually had a really neat sign out front. You know, there's so much to see when you actually looked at it. And all of that was because she was pointing them out. Had I been alone, I would have glossed over it like it was nothing. It wasn't as though the entire world suddenly looked different, of course. But the people walking the streets with their usual glum, cold expressions suddenly looked warmer, more human. Like a new emotion toying with me, and it was actually just her exuberance that seemed to liven everything up little by little. Were you okay with just walking around? I asked. Paris had enough tourist traps to make you want to scream, and she could have easily gone to a bookstore or taken a stroll in Lyon. She didn't need to come here. But as the words left my mouth, thoughts immediately started to swirl in my brain. Should I pay for her if we go somewhere? And do I even have enough cash on hand to cover what we might do? Sometimes the best things are free. Walking, looking out the sunset, out on the lake or the river, that doesn't cost a dime. Tourist traps are nice, but I usually prefer to just wander around town like this. Of course, if I went abroad, I'd want to go nuts and see all the famous spots. But here, I don't know. Going to a tourist spot can make you a little anxious. The city of Paris itself is lively like a giant tourist trap, but it's lively in a different way. I think I know what you mean. You go to a place you think you know, but it feels far away at the same time. Or it makes you feel tense and anxious. I guess that's why when you go sightseeing, you have to kind of psych yourself up for it. Indeed, I had to be in the mood to properly enjoy sightseeing. And I'm always wiped when it's over. Of course, it can be a good kind of tired, like you're recharged and ready to return to the day-to-day. However, I'm the lethargic type. Before traveling, I don't get eager and bubbly, but rather drained at the prospect alone. I had a feeling she was likely the former. She could psych herself up and enjoy a full day of sightseeing to the max. I realized she had her eyes fixed on me. What? Was I doing something weird without knowing it? Did she want a response to what she said? Right, I'd been quiet this whole time she was talking. My goal wasn't sightseeing today. It was to meet you, Michael. I was wrong. She was saying something wonderful, and naturally I let my eyes wander away awkwardly. How was she able to say things like that? Was wondering. These were the only words I could muster. Should I ask her? I've been plagued by doubt ever since we left the bookstore. I didn't have enough courage to form a complete sentence. What is it? And here I was, still fumbling over my words. No, never mind. Nothing is what I almost said. I fought that impulse back before finally speaking. So, what did you think? Actually meeting me and all? Nothing was more nerve-wracking than asking for someone's evaluation of me. This was to someone who had no idea what a great game creator was. I know I was so different than what she imagined, but I still wanted to ask. You're really a unique and interesting person. What, really? Are you aware that I'm a guy who can't even improv a joke? When anything unexpected happens, I clam up? Perhaps her idea of interesting was broken, or perhaps she was talking with a Michael from another dimension or the whole time. How so? Like, when I thought you were just quiet, you were actually looking all around. Oh, so that's what you meant by interesting. And you know so much, I can tell. When you're quiet, you're not zoning out, but rather choosing your words. So it's really fun to talk to you. And it makes me want to talk more about lots of other things. She was being polite. I know. It's social etiquette. I shouldn't get my hopes up. But even as I told myself that, hearing that she wanted more made me so happy. And I could feel myself wanting to know more and more about her as well. My mind was screaming at me that I was getting in too deep and to turn and just run. But I gave in to my emotions and opened my mouth. Me too. I want to talk with you more. She gave that same beaming smile, nodded excitedly. Then with an overwhelming sense of joy, said, "Yes, of course, let's. We've already talked about it next time at the cafe anyway." Her bright, exuberant nature was making me dizzy. This wasn't like me, not at all. I chose to blame it on the sun and just ignored it. After that, we strolled around until the sun went down and had a simple dinner before I walked her to the station. Before I saw her off, she wanted a handshake. Felt like I could never forget the warmth of her touch. Okay, so before you forgot that warmth, you hurried home and rubbed one out, I see. I did not rub one out. What's wrong with you? She's just kidding. Your buttons are so easy to push sometimes. Are you a middle schooler or something? Stop it. Just shut up. I mean, it seems like she has a thing for you, and it seems like it wasn't a trap after all. I think it would have been proper to take her home at that point. I never had that intention in the first place. What a mess of a 20-something you are. Not like a 27-year-old at all. You speak as if you are one, but in reality, the only 27-year-olds that act grown up are in fiction. Real ones are like me. Well, that might be true. All 20-somethings are like kids. So how old was she? What was she like? Was she hot? She was cute, I think. Tiggle bitties? Yeah, big. No scars on her arms or anything? Why would you ask that? It's too good to be true. A pretty girl with big tits who's a fan and who came all the way out to see you. Makes no sense unless there's a landmine here. It wasn't like that. It was just totally normal, I think. Well, guess I'll just say congrats for now. What? Why? Only one step closer to getting a girlfriend. I mean, I laid on the jokes on thick, but I would have been happy just seeing her one more time. At least, that's what I felt like I wanted. Having inflated expectations was never good. I had no money, no status, no future, and I was already 27. I would only be a malaise over her life. But after I left her that night, I was refreshing my inbox every few minutes, After not getting email for a whole day, I could hardly suppress my disappointment. But then a new mail notification popped up. My body froze from the sudden urge of adrenaline. After reading her opinions of watching Gattaca, I smiled in a way I didn't think I was capable of. She liked it. That one scene included. And in that response, she wrote that we should meet up in Dijon next time. That was a city I'd never been to. I immediately opened up a public transit site to look up how to get there. Must be nice to live in France. Despite us not even setting a date yet. I had to stay my hand from responding immediately. I wanted to give the impression that I was busy with work or considering my schedule carefully, Don't want to seem too eager, right? So after about half a day, I replied, "Sounds great." Sounds great. Oh, man. I don't want to stop. Oh, they're not going to let me play this whole game through. No way. Is this free? I don't think this game's free, is it? Oh, I didn't check the store page. Alrighty, well, that's going to be it for now. I'm already way over time, so I hope you all enjoyed it. This is the Seventh Lair from NOVECT, out now on Steam, and you can get it on the MangaGamer store. So yeah, check it out. This is really fun. I'm really liking it. I'm excited to see where it goes. Hope you all have a good day, and take care.